a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
Are you a fan of 80s horror but want something different? Do you like modern horror but the regular magazines leave you a bit cold? Are you a fan of that schlocky horror that no one else seems to talk about? Check out Necronomicon, the UK horror zine from Etsy.com. Just search for Necroneil.
Hello, good evening. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a tarot stream. Welcome to Psychic Sunday. We are here. We are live. I've got to have a little look. See. Oh gosh, my mouse is acting very strangely today. Let's have a look at who's in. I've got to say hello to Blue Holland. Blue Chalice Arts. Yes, I am investigating my squeaky mic. I've got a squeak. It's not the mic. It's actually the arm that the other camera is sat on. But yes, hello to Pallavi. Hi, Pallavi. We asked your question last week and you'd gone. So stick around if you want a question this week. Rushi Kumar, I think we asked your question last week as well, but hello to you. Hello to Ed. Oh, no, there's Ed. Hello to Ed. Hello to Patricia, who I was just there, just looking on. So yes, good evening. Wolfboyo, hi peeps. I'm leaving for Leeds tomorrow for emergency accommodation. Oh, I hope everything goes okay, Wolfboyo. I really, really do. Fingers crossed for you, my friend. Fingers absolutely crossed for you. I hope everything goes okay. Cover Button's here. Hello, Cover Button. I hope you are well as well. So then, everybody, we're going to crack on. We're going to crack on quickly today. I might try a few different things on today's stream. I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes. So last week, we ended up with, I think we did the Royal We, because you're all part of this, right? I know I'm the one that flips the cards, but without you lot being here, there wouldn't be any questions to ask. Without the mods keeping it a nice, safe, wonderfully warm space, there wouldn't be such a lovely, warm feeling here. And so I do think of it, right, bear in mind, hang on, I need to do, there we go. I need to hook my chair up a little bit. So yeah, I do think of it as a we. I know, right? I just pulled my chair up and dropped it down. Don't ask. But we did 7 readings last week, and then this week, but then last week there were 6 readings we could have done, but people weren't here on the live. Yep. So they'd asked their questions and then went, and we were like, oh no, where is everybody? So yes, it was very complicated. So yes, hello Nandini. Nandini's here as well. So if you do ask a question, please do put your oh God, Wolfboyo, no problem. Sorry everyone, I just got distracted by Wolfboyo's comments. But yes, if you are wanting a question, put your question into the chat, starting with the word question, like Pallavi's done there, and I will get to them all as fast as I can and as soon as I can. Now then, oh, no worries, Holland. I know that you were going to say hello, but we were too busy going, hi, Holland here. So then, everybody, if you don't know how this channel works, what we do is we do live tarot readings and some other types of readings on a Sunday as well. So today, the Coffee Club crew, if you don't know what the Coffee Club crew is, it is the wonderful channel members. Have I, hang on a second, everyone. I know, right? Professionals. Have I taken off the doodah? I don't think I have. What's this one? Oh no, that's for Fiverr. Look, private bookings, go to fiverr.com. I know, right? I'm trying to make this a little bit better for people. So it isn't just, look, look, it's like I'm a professional. It's like I know what I'm doing. I don't. But look, this just makes me smile so much. Look, I've managed to do a thing. I got a thing working after all these months. But if I press that, there you are, look. So if you are wanting to donate, oh, hang on, no, I could have done it on that one, couldn't I? Where is it gone? Is it that one? There you go. Right. So up here, oh, hang on. Now I'm on the wrong doodah. Right. There we go. Up here, Q Jump. So this is also where the channel memberships are, right? They're called the Coffee Club, mainly because, as you'll know, I am addicted to coffee. Without 1 or 2 or 3 or 7, I can't cope. I can't function. Some people blame the ADHD. I blame coffee because I'm addicted. Anyway, probably am. Anyway, so the Coffee Club crew is our memberships here on this channel, because we're not anywhere near the point where YouTube can monetize this channel. So we can't do memberships the way that other channels do. So we've got to do it a bit clever. So we do it through buymeacoffee.com. So you can go over there. I think it starts at £3 a month if you would like to be a channel member. You get to hang out with us just before the live. Today, the Coffee Club crew, I said, you know what, let's pick some tarot cards, whilst I was also upside down for part of it. Genuinely, genuinely, everything was upside down. Yes, that is a true fact. Ask Patricia in the chat, because she'll tell you I was upside down for a little while. So yes, basically it's the Coffee Club crew is like our little hangout. It's our little membership hangout. So earlier on today, or earlier on just before we came live, the Coffee Club crew picked some tarot decks for me to use, right? So I gave some options, and what we've got, these are the decks for today. So there were 2 options of classic decks that I really don't like, right? I can use them because, you know, they are very old-fashioned and very well-known decks. So they are the Rider-Waite-Smith, the original, with all of the original fuzziness on the imagery and all of that. So I mean, it's not, when I say original, what I mean is like it's the original artwork. I don't mean that this is one of the original copies, because it would be worth several hundreds or thousands of pounds right now. So we've got the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and I then said I gave the option of 2 decks that I use a lot. So the Vice Versa deck, which you've seen me use for the last, probably the last 5 months, maybe 6 months, where it's a double-sided deck. That went head to head with the Connolly deck, which is a deck that I've used for over 20 years. This deck is actually over 20 years old. It's one of the original, this is an original vintage 1994, I think it was, deck with the original backs, which is like marble. The new backs have got this weird sort of purple design on them that I'm not, even though I like purple, it's a really busy design. So anyway, those are the decks we're going to be using today. And then if I'm feeling super adventurous later, I might put it down to, if you look, I might say, if you want to have me use a deck that I have never used before with very different artwork that I haven't even gone through, haven't done all the prep with, I've got 2 decks that have been part of my collection for ages. So I might put this to a donation vote, basically. If you want to donate, because I don't really want to use either of these decks, because again, I've got no relationship with them yet. But we've got the Mystic Mondays Tarot and the Macabre Tarot. So it would, don't even know why I'm saying this. It's ridiculous. I mean, look at this. It's a beautiful, there you go. Look, it's a beautiful, like really nice imagery on these, that's the world. This is Judgment. It's really different artwork. You've really got to know the decks really, really well for you to understand these. So this is that deck, right? And we've got, that's the sun. A very, look, how is that the sun? It looks very different, but it's a beautiful deck. It's just very, very shiny. And I've never even used it. I've never even filmed with it. Never even had it out the box fully. Or the Macabre Tarot, which I have to cover the sensor up. This is the one that comes in the coffin box that has been in my background for ages, but, and you can see this is also a very, shut up. It's got a little light sensor that tries to make a noise on it. This is also a very different looking deck. So now this is like very macabre. So we've got the world, we've got, let's do a different one. We've got the death card, which is, I mean, it is a beautiful artwork. The hanged in this case isn't the hangman, hangwoman, it's a hanged mermaid. So if you want, if you go over to the Q Jump page over here at buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic, if you want me to use either of these decks, right, whether that's for your reading or just in general, go over there. If you want to put a donation in, 10% of all donations go to fight bladder cancer, and 10% goes to, I think it's called Action Bladder Cancer, the two bladder cancer charities in the UK. One gets 10%, the other one gets 10%, and then what's left helps run the channel. So if you want to do that, do please go and do that. And then if anybody does do that, if anybody does donate over there, then we'll use one of those decks that I've never used before. I mean, I'm just not looking forward to using the Rider-Waite-Smith either, but I said I would. So that's what we're going to do today. Right, I'm just shuffling. This is a brand new Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. This is a Psychic Sunday. It is now a quarter past 7 on a Sunday evening. It's time to officially kick things off with my brand new, are you ready everybody? My brand new channel opener. Look at this. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is where we go all posh. Are you ready? Look at this.
Hi, I'm Lisa, a practicing liminal witch and tarot reader with over 28 years experience in helping people find guidance through the cards. On this channel I talk about all sorts of witchy, spooky and mystical things that interest me and I hope will interest you too. Welcome to Beyond Authentic Witchcraft. This is a Psychic Sunday session, so let's see what's in store today.
Yes, indeed, a Psychic Sunday session. That's my brand new channel opener, and I absolutely love it. Love it. No, Pallavi. I see your question. That I should be past. Oh gosh, there's loads of questions in. Thank you, Holland. I'm gonna have to go back and grab them. Past 1,000 subscribers, so you should have gotten that super chat button. No, because although we're past 1,000 subscribers, I don't have 4,000 hours of watch time. You see, they get you every which way. So if you do see adverts on the channel, apart from the two that I've got from my friends from Etsy, which is Neil and Holland over at Blue Chalice and over at Necronomicon and Blue Chalice respectively. If you ever see an advert on any of my videos, I don't get any money for that because we're not monetized. So you can't do super chats, super likes, any of that stuff, channel memberships, can't do any of that on here. And in fact, I'm way down on the 4,000 hours watch time. So if you are wanting to, it does help. I'm not allowed. So part of the YouTube rules is I am not allowed to ask people to watch my videos, my previous videos. I'm not allowed to say, you know, help us out with the watch time or anything like that. So I'm not going to say that. But until we reach that 4,000, there's nothing that we can do over here. We've just got to plow on the way that we are, which is we do it our own way. We're a DIY channel. We make it work as we go along. As you all know, we do things in our own way over here, and we try and work within the system whilst working without it as well. So that's the ethos over here. A little bit punk, a little bit DIY, proper zine, proper do it yourself. You tell me no, I'll find a way of doing it. That's what we're like over here. So then, Jessica Scott, hello my darling. Yes, you can ask questions. I'll tell you what, let me put the banner on. This is how you do it. To request, no, there you go. No, what is going on today? Come on, my mouse is sticking. I was blowing the ball. I haven't lost the plot. I was a bloke, right? For those of you that are old, right? When mice, when these things first came out, there was a rollerball on there, right? And it would get stuck with paper and fluff and all sorts. And you had to blow it, or sometimes take the ball out, clean it, and put it back in. That's what I was just doing, and then I realised it's a look at that, it's a laser one. It's lasers. Daft cow. Right. I'm shuffling this Rider-Waite deck. Right, so let me go through the comments. Oh dear. Yes, Holland's old enough to remember the ball. Red Cap, hello Red Cap. I hope you are well. Yes, yes, that's entirely true, Ed. Like you, if you're told not to do something, you'll do it twice and take pictures. Absolutely. Right then, let me go through. I'm going to start highlighting all of the questions that I've missed. I will be 2 seconds, everybody. In fact, while I'm doing that, let me tell you a bit more about the Coffee Club crew.
Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. And then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ding your bell, and make sure your settings are changed to all. That way YouTube should notify you each and every time I upload a video. But if you would like to support myself and this channel just a little bit more, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com/beyondauthentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee. Thanks so much for those of you choosing to support me.
Yes, indeed. Thank you to everybody. We do all sorts of hangouts and all sorts of bits and pieces. I will be doing another live stream, not live stream, sorry, a live Q&A. Let me just go through. Parul Gupta, your question is in. Thank you very much for that. By the way, everybody, I've got to say happy spring. The spring has sprung. The time has gone forward. It's completely befuddled me today. Also, Ramadan has started, so Ramadan Mubarak to all of my Muslim viewers. Thank you very much for being here, and hopefully you'll be able to break fast soon. I don't quite know when it is time, but I know it's normally quite late in the evening. So thank you for joining me if you're here whilst you are fasting. So yes, thank you everybody. I'm just going through all of the questions that I've got in. Yes, you used to be able to take the ball out. Yes, that's exactly what we're talking for. How long do we need to wait for readings? Think I got 2 weeks ago. No, we're not. You don't have to worry about that too much now. Red Cap, my darling. When were you and your ex? Right. Parul Gupta, I've got your question in, my darling. Please stop spamming please stop spamming it. It is sunset, Holland, but I don't know if it's not sunset here, is it? Isn't it sunset in Mecca? That's what that's what I believed. Anyway, right, let me just find the message from Holland with my question list in. Pallavi, Nandini, right, okay, yes, I've got those. So I have, oh gosh, hang on. I've got Pallavi, Jessica Scott, Nandini, Parul Gupta, BTS, Wolfboyo, and Holland. So yeah, I've got questions in. So then everybody, we're going to start with the tarot right now. If you are wanting a reading, bearing in mind you can go across to here and you can queue jump for just, I can't even remember what it is. I think it's £5 to queue jump. And then your reading will be next off the list, if that makes sense. You'll be the next one on the list. So then let me just check the comments. I do, by the way, if you're here and you've asked a question, please stick around until your question is asked, because last week we did have an awful lot of people leave the questions, leave the chat, and then they missed out on their questions. But and then once that happens, basically you're going to hear one of these, right? Oh gosh, I really am all over the place tonight. What we do is we call your name, okay? We call it twice. On the second call, you'll hear this. There we go. Which is a red alert. On the third time we call it, unfortunately, you get one of these. And that means you've forfeited your reading on that night. So if that happens, the only way to get a reading tonight is to queue jump or to come back the following week like Pallavi has done. Pallavi is here in the reading. Pallavi is here in the live chat. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start with Pallavi at 20 minutes past. So I'm going to do your timestamp. I know I've been particularly rubbish with timestamps in the last few weeks. It's because I have to do it on a different computer to this one. But I am going to try and get this sorted out over the next few weeks to come. Anyway, thank you very much, Pallavi. Your question is coming up. If you would like a question, all you need to do, let me click on this. This makes sense. Pallavi, you're coming up straight after this. This is how you get a reading on this channel, and this is how we do the tarot. If you haven't been here before, how does the tarot work on this channel? Well, you've got to be a subscriber is the first thing. You've also got to be 18 years of age or over, and I do remind people that you do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot is only meant to be used for entertainment purposes only. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you are looking for support in those areas, as always, I would recommend you seek out a professional in those areas. With all of that being said, I am available for doing tarot readings. And if you are wanting a reading here, bear in mind it will be online. And basically, once we put something out on the interwebs, it's going to be on the interwebs forever. And basically, what that means is I may delete this channel in 5 years' time. I could take down all of these videos, but once it's been streamed live, there will be a recording somewhere, whether that's on the Wayback Machine or other devices like that, other sites like that. And basically, you will potentially, somebody will be able to find your reading. So if you prefer a private reading, if you don't want your business discussed publicly, then you can go across here to fiverr.com/beyond authentic. The I in authentic is a 1. Just have a look there, and you can book a 3, 6, or 10 card reading over there if you would like to. Yes, indeed. That's how you go about getting a reading. Those are the rules on this channel, and we're going to start off right now with Pallavi. This, Pallavi, my darling, this is your timestamp. Okay, so Pallavi, you're wanting a general reading, I believe it was. A general reading, my darling. Let me just double check. Yes, a general reading. And I'm welcoming back the dragons. Good evening, dragons. If you don't know, the dragons are the universal energies, the elemental energies that I work with on this channel. Let me just move that across ever so slightly. And the universal energies, basically how that works on this channel is they are around in the form of dragons. Now, that isn't, you know, I'm not completely lost the plot. I don't actually see dragons, but it is the elemental energies that we work with, and we call them dragons on this channel. There's a long story, and no doubt at some point we'll get into it fully. But anyway, we are welcoming the dragons. We're also welcoming back the Connolly deck. This is a beautiful deck. I'll just show you a few pictures. This deck is the one that I used for this exact deck for over 20 years when I first started reading. It's one that I used to use at psychic fairs, at psychic tarot parties, things like that. It is a very beautiful deck. It's got quite a bit of sort of standard sort of Christo-Judaic kind of references in it, but don't hold that against it. It's still a very lovely lovely deck in actual fact. So that's what we're going to use for Pallavi. So then, dragons, oh, there we go. Welcome back, dragons. Welcome back, Connolly deck. Pallavi, welcome back to Pallavi. She's been on this channel for the longest time, and Pallavi would like to have a general guidance reading, please. So then, what we're going to do, Pallavi, we're going to look at your current situation. Okay, so we're not going to do a past. We're going to look at your current situation. Then we're going to look at your future option, and then we're going to look at your current situation. We're going to give you 2 options and an outcome. Okay, so no, Jesus, my brain is not functioning. I mean 2 cards. So your current situation, the obstacle to that situation, that's what I'm trying to say, and your outcome, that's what we're going to do, right, my darling? So it feels like I haven't been here for weeks. Did I mods, did we ride on Tuesday? Did we do a session on Tuesday? It feels like I've not been in here for ages. It really does. I don't know what's going on tonight. It feels like it's been months. Anyway, Pallavi, this is your drop. Because look at the state of these cards. Look at that. That's years of experience, that is. Look at that. They're filthy. Right, there we go. This is your drop. And so we've got your situation. Oh, Queen of Wands. The obstacle at the moment is the 7 of Wands. And the outcome, oh my gosh, Pallavi, it's all about confidence. This is, we've got the 6 of Wands reversed. Right then, so the Queen of Wands. This is your current situation. Now, the queens are about nurturing. Let me show you it this way up. So the queens are about nurturing, but also about kind of that quite authoritative and also quite well, regal's the obvious word because they're queens, but they're quite knowledgeable. Not quite the final authority on things. The king always gets the final say because, you know, sexism. But the queens are very knowledgeable, and they are effectively the superpower behind the throne. So the queen can make the king bend to her will by using feminine wiles, put it that way. So this queen, as you can see, wands is about security, but this queen is more than just security and confidence. This queen comes with wisdom. Now we've got a pyramid in the background, and this pyramid is green. So green again is this. It always confuses me that that wands are normally seen as a fire sign, because so much in this deck, the wands have this green earth energy running through them. But that's fine. It is a fire deck, is a fire sign. So the green here, this is about knowledge of like, how can I put it? It's earthiness. It's more than, it's not spiritual wisdom. It's not financial wisdom. This is like psychological wisdom, right? So this is about knowing people. This is about knowing what you want to do with your life, the people around you, like having that real connection with people. And also, because it is a wand, it always talks about confidence and how you see yourself. And so you've got this reverse, which means although the queen is very high up in the pecking order, although she's very, very knowledgeable, there are certain things going on that's making you question your own sense of self, and your own, like, you're second guessing yourself a little bit at the moment. And there's something going on, quite a big thing, because it's a queen, it isn't like a lower card. There's something happening at the moment which is really making you, it's kind of shaking your foundation a little bit. It's kind of making you know, am I sure that I'm doing the right thing? It's putting that question in the back of your mind. Now, the obstacle involved, we've got the 7 of Wands. Now, I think this is time, because we've got this here, right? The queen was, it's almost like, Pallavi, I want to say that you were really determined on a course of action, right? You were really determined to do things a certain way. Everything was going that way. Everything was going absolutely fine. And then there's been a bit of a hold up, and the hold up is down to this 7 of Wands. Because look, this person is just looking. Like, they've built this fence, this gateway, whatever it is, this wall. They've built it, and they've used their staves, their wands. Everything's there now in place. They've got the lovely the pathway. This is all now done. Look at this. This is really cool. How amazing is this? That's really cool. But then they just stood back looking at it. And you can see the clouds is just like, it's not a bad day. It's not a horrible day. It's not, you know, nasty or anything. It's just this sort of, oh, well, I built that. Now I'm just going to stand here. I'm just going to look at my work I've done. La, la, la. Like, oh, I'm just going to check out my nails and just have a little chill. I might have a little drink. Oh, yeah, I'll have a little drink. Oh, yeah. What else shall I do? Oh, I don't know. I'll just hang out here. And it's literally, it's like you've done all the work, and now you're just kind of waiting for the next step. It's like this wall's been built, and now you're waiting for someone to come and challenge it almost. You're waiting for the thunderstorm to come and try and knock this down. You know what I mean? So it's this really sort of odd sensation of just constantly waiting for this thing to happen. And then the outcome at the moment, like, you need to resolve this. This is what you need to resolve. Now, whether this is the feeling that is genuine, so this could be the thing, you know, where you're like, oh God, there's just no movement happening right now. And actually you need to kick it into touch. You need to, like, change gear, put your pedal to the metal. No, pedal to the metal, put your foot down, do something. You need to make it go fast. Broom, broom. I don't drive, so I don't know what that is, right? You need to find a way over this. And then the outcome, we've got the 6 of Wands. Now, the 6 here is, again, it's about building, and it's about trying to lay foundations in stone. Okay, so you're trying to build this really rock solid. And you can see you've got this goal. These laurel wreaths are representing goals here. This is, again, all to do with security and confidence. But the problem here is that it's reversed. And so basically, like, you're trying to build something as solid as this brick wall. Now, the question is, and the problem is, wooden staves are never going to be as solid as the brick wall. right? So whatever this is that you are working towards, whatever this hindrance is, it's almost like you're expecting it to go a certain way. And what this is saying, like this time delay is really important, because it's like, really, whilst you're stood here watching what you've already achieved, you could be moving on and finishing other tasks and kicking this up the wazoo and all of that. But no, instead you're worrying and you're fixating a little bit on kind of the permanence of it, rather than accepting the fact that whatever this situation is that you're going through at the moment, Pallavi, it's never going to be permanent, because you're trying to build this permanent forever structure out of wood. And so it's never going to get that. Does that make sense, my darling? It's really saying that, look, whatever this is, what, like the throne is probably also a wooden throne. In time, that's not going to happen. In time, it will all collapse. So you've got to try and go with the fact that there is nothing here that is going to be permanent. It is all a temporary situation. And if you can adjust to that and actually kind of accept that some things take time to evolve and some things take a lot longer, and that once you've done that initial task, there's still a lot more left to do if you want to make things happen. So there's two stories going on at the same time here. One is to not just sit back and look at the work you've already done and pat yourself on the back and give yourself a round of applause. Like, get off your bum, basically. You know me, get off your bum, and actually start doing something else while you're waiting for this to go. It's like if you're growing something in the garden, right? If you're now, it's springtime here in the UK. So Rufus is already starting to get some butternut, squash seeds and all sorts of other seeds, right? But you could just say, oh, I bought the seeds. Hurrah, hurrah, you've done this part of the job. What you haven't done is put the seeds in the dirt, watered them, made sure they're the right way around, put them on the windowsill, blah, 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 blah. You've bought the seeds. They're now at your house. Great. You've done this task. Great. What about the rest of it? And that is going to be an issue. And then the second part of this story, I really feel that although this is an outcome, it's almost like a warning. It's saying to you, don't try and fix things into place so rigidly. You need to have a bit of give and take. You need to be able to move through things a little bit easier to make this happen. Hopefully that makes sense, Pallavi. I really, really do hope that makes some sense. I'm going to swap to the other camera. There we go. Look, I'm back. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense, my darling. And thank you very, very much for your question. My advice would be just finish some of the other tasks, and also don't think of this situation as being the long-term goal. Like, this is a stepping stone, my darling. In time, this also will pass. Like, in 20 years time, you're going to be somewhere completely different. So just think of this, as much as it feels like this is a forever move, just remember, you're building with wooden sticks here. It's like the Three Little Pigs. You're building with wooden sticks. This isn't the house made out of brick. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you. Right then, let me have a little look. See, I've just seen Holland, Blue Chalice Arts, put in the chat that I've got some more questions to find. Let me have a look. Pallavi says you're fed up with this stagnation. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I do get it. It is difficult, but again, it's once you've done a few things, it's time to like move on and get the rest of the tasks finished off. Like, crack on, get that list done. Once you've got the list complete, then you should be okay. How do you find psychic tarot parties? I used to book them. I used to do them. I used to random. This is before, partly, right? There's two. There's what we used to do way back when, and then what we do these days. So what we used to do, or what I used to do way back when, people would book a tarot party, and I would just turn up at someone's house randomly with some tarot cards, and I mean, luckily, touch word, nothing ever went awry, right? Just randomly turning up on a Friday evening. Neil's here. Hello, Neil. Randomly turning up on a Friday evening or something at some random stranger's house with a bag full of tarot cards and a cloth, you know, and didn't think anything of it. Did not think for 1 second that I was at risk of anything or anyone, or that like anything could even happen. Never ever once did I think that was going to be a thing. However, these days it's all booked in advance. payment taken through PayPal, addresses confirmed. I would get Rufus to go with me. I did one in Doncaster pre-COVID, actually. It was probably the last one. And I turned up and it was a Halloween do, and there was somebody having a Halloween sort of get together with wine and nibbles and a back room, and I was all set up in the back room, and then one by one the people came in for their readings. And so it does happen, but oh my God, when I think of it, oh, it's a bit like Neil talks about with the zine, how we used to just put adverts with our home addresses on things. Like I used to do a zine as well, a horror zine, and I just included my home address and just, yes, if you want one, send me £2 and I'll post you one. Didn't think anything of it. Did not think anything of it. Wow. A more innocent time, and also a more foolish Lisa. I've learned those lessons since then, the hard way, trust me. Anyway, right. Who is next? I've got Jessica Scott up next. Jessica Scott, my darling, if you are here in the live chat, do please come and say hello. Hello. Come and say hello, Jessica, in the live chat, and then we'll know that we can. I need to move this ever so slightly. There we go. So I can actually see the list and see the screen. So Jessica Scott, this is the second call for Jessica Scott. If you're here, come and say hello in the live chat. You're currently on a red alert. Are we here? Are we here? Are we here? Is Jessica here? Hang on. Let me click back on the many buttons. No, Jessica. This is the second time, Jessica. Oh, did Jessica do a queue jump? Let me have a look. No, Jessica's not done a queue jump. She was the second on my list. And Jessica, third and final call for Jessica. If you're not here, my darling, we are going to have to move on. Let me just have a look. Nandini's next now. So Jessica, it looks like unfortunately you are tonight's first. There you go. You are being removed from the list, unfortunately, Jessica. Right, Nandini, are you here, my darling? Nandini, come and say hello in that there live chat. Nandini's here. Thank you very much. I've got you, Nandini. Thank you. Right then, Nandini, this is going to be your timestamp, 39, 39 minutes, and this is your timestamp. If I can find it. Okay, so Nandini's getting ahead of the game and wants a general reading for April. Right then, Nandini, let's have a look. Dragons. Thank you. Get a nice ring of that one. Dragons, we have Nandini. There you go. Dragons. Nandini is wanting to get ahead of the game and get a general reading, please, for April. Let's have a look at that for Nandini. So then we've swapped decks. This is a brand new deck, although it's a very old deck, if that makes sense. Let me just move this a little bit. Oh, there we go. Look, that's a little bit betterer, a little bit gooderer, more betterer, more gooderist. There you go. It's more goodist. So then we've got the Rider-Waite Smith deck. I mean, you know, and I think the explainer card is actually still in here because I've only pulled this one out. So we will have a look at this as we go. So then, Nandini, this is a classic deck. It's very new, so it's very different to that other deck. Look at the size for a start. Look how white they are compared to, I mean, that's 20 years of finger sweat. You don't think your fingers sweat that much, but finger sweat and grime, they go grey and awful looking. But yes, this is a brand new Rider-Waite Smith deck. So then, Dragons, Nandini would like a general reading, please, for April. A general reading for, oh, there's a card that's been flipped. Hang on, where is it? Right, these two, when this isn't wispy, if you're wanting a card to flip properly, you know, that was a card that flipped when I said that. I was about to say, you know the rules. Right then. So when a card flips, we stop shuffling. So you have a modifying card. You've got the 4 of Cups, Nandini, as a modifier. So that's interesting. Right, let's do your drop with this pristine white deck. Here we go. There you go. There's your drop. So then, Nandini, let's have a look at your cards. I've got to say though, whenever you get a brand new deck, it is really interesting because you've suddenly got this very very crisp card to play with. It's very different. So then, first of all, what does the modifier card tell us? So the modifying card is the 4 of Cups, and this is about being kind of happy with what you've got, but then missing out on what's being offered, kind of almost turning a blind eye. So you can see, I mean, you can't really see in this. It's almost like, when you were kids, did anyone make potato cuttings, and you'd kind of get a potato and carve a shape out and then blot it with some ink or like paint and then go smudge, smudge, like potato stamps? It's almost like that. These are like old woodstock, wood type carvings, or like carved into leather. It's a really weird for me because I'm used to the more modern version of this where they've like tidied it all up. This just feels really clunky. But anyway, the 4, you can see this person is looking at their cups and thinking, oh, I've got 3 cups there. That's all right, I guess. Nothing too major. And then this opportunity is being given to them by, that's supposed to be a hand in the cloud. And the opportunity's there, but they're like, they can't see it. They're too busy feeling content with what they've got than to take the risk or even pay attention to what's going on around them. So then let's have a look. So the energy that you've got leaving March into April, we've got the 5 of Wands. Now, normally I talk about wands as being security and confidence, and that's very true, but also increasingly, especially with some of the readings that I get, it becomes almost defensive, if that makes sense. So this feels quite defensive, but this was reversed. So this is why I'm saying about defensive. It feels like, almost like March has been a bit of a shit month for you, Nandini. It feels like almost like you've been attacked on several fronts. So it's like wherever you've turned this month, it's like someone else has got something to say about your business. You know what I mean? It's like someone else is coming in and going, oh, well, actually, if I was doing it my way, I wouldn't do it like that. I would do it like this. And you've had to kind of defend your position quite a lot. Now, the thing about this card, as you can see, in this deck, all these 5 people are holding these wands, but they are massive. I mean, who doesn't want to hold a massive wand? Hey, I made myself giggle. Oh God. Oh, I made myself laugh. Anyway, they're holding on to these massive wands. Oh, carry on, Tarot. Oh, matron. Anyway, right, let me get this out. As the actress said to the bishop. I'm so sorry. I've turned into a 4-year-old. Well, maybe not a 4-year-old, maybe a 15-year-old. Oh, gosh, right. As I was saying, oh gosh, as I was saying, all these people are holding on to their staves, right? And they are absolutely embattled. They are fighting one another, fighting for their corner. And so it feels like March has been a lot of that for you. And because it's reversed, it's stuff that you weren't expecting. And it almost feels like it's come out of left field. And then as we go into April, the focus is going to shift a little bit onto finances. So whether this is because it's the new start of a new financial year, whether this is like getting your taxes in even, it could even be all of that. But this feels very much like you are starting to try and move on in a new financial direction, because it's almost like you've got one on your head. So while you're thinking about money, this is like bills and things. You've got one over your heart. So this is the desire element. So this is like brain, heart. So this is like the things you want to spend money on. And then you're having to stand on these two to stop them flying away. It's like, this is, I need to put some money away. Don't spend it like, oh, I'm going to spend this on bills. I'm going to spend this on whatever I want. And then this, oh, you're trying now to lock finances down and to give yourself a better financial plan for the future. Again, look, this has got a cityscape in the background. So this is really talking about long-term finances. Where are you going to end up working? Where are you going to end up living? All of that. This is about trying to improve your situation moving forward. And again, when we've got this coming up as your clarifying card, it's almost like you're kind of happy where you are, but there's an opportunity here that you're not paying attention to at the moment. So you're trying to sort your finances out, but maybe it's an investment that you need to think about that's being offered, or maybe it's a change of job that's being offered here to give you this financial security and this bit where you are keeping your feet on the ground financially. There's something here that you need to be aware of. Like, yes, everything's cool right now. Everything's groovy, baby, but this could make things a lot better. And then in the future, so as we go through April, we've really got the nine of pence coming in. Now, I've started in the last few months, I've started to really see nines a little bit different, nines and tens. Nines I see is almost like the pinnacle. So this is like the money's all here now. The money's in. Now you get time to play in the garden in your luxurious robes and gowns and just have little Tweety birds land on your hand like a Disney princess, because you've got everything you've ever wanted and everything's grand and everything's lovely. But this is reversed, which means this is kind of be the dream, but you're not there yet. Like, so as much as April is going to be about this financial element that's going on, you have to remember, and this is partly what the warning here with these cards is, look, keep your feet on the ground. This isn't going to happen by itself. And at the moment, you aren't taking advantage of opportunity. Does that make sense, Nandini? It's like, stop fighting for like everything you've been fighting this last month. Stop all of that. Try and resolve some of these issues. Concentrate more on the finances and set yourself up for longer term goal. And then once it starts to come rolling in, once the benefits of this starts coming in, don't get carried away. The fairy tale ending isn't going to happen straight away. This is not an immediate result. You've still got to plan, work, and put a hell of a lot of effort in. You can't just sit on your backside being happy with your lot. But there you are, Nandini. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry about the little smutty bit in the middle there. But there you go. That, my darling, is your reading for today. So I hope that helps. And I'll say thank you very much for your reading. Right then, let's jump back over to the other camera. So let me catch up in the comments. Oh, yes, you've lost your focus for a bit. Yes, that is it indeed. Especially when you're looking at a situation where you're trying to make plans for the future and there's opportunities and things coming your way. You just kind of need to get it moving, if that makes sense. What's this, Ed? The thingy is at the top of the screen. The thingy. There's a lots of thingies. Oh, right. There we go. If you're wanting to queue jump, you can go ahead and queue jump and donate just here. Look, buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic. You can do that just there. Izzy. So yes, matron, boom, boom. I know, right? Sorry. You know what I'm like. Your head goes down a certain way. Yes, every past person came back to have a talk this month. Very much. That's very much what it sounds like. Yes, you're off for a quick shower. Back soon. Okay, Holland, thank you. Yeah, it very much feels that, Nandini. It really does feel like there's been a lot of what is it, pigeons coming home to roost, I think. You need to get back on track. Thank you so much. It actually makes a lot of sense. No problem, Nandini. I really do hope that helps, my darling, and thank you very much for your question. Thank you for that. Right, so then let me just have a wee little look. Oh, it's also just here, look. There you go. If you're wanting to donate to Q Jump, the details are just there. Right then, let me have a look. Who is next? Next up, I've got Parul Gupta. Parul Gupta, if you are here, my darling, I think I've just seen you on the other screen, haven't I? Yes, you are. Just come and say hello on the live chat so we know that you are still here, my darling, and I will get to your reading next. Yeah, just come and make sure that you haven't gone away in the last few seconds, because that happens, you know, and I will absolutely get to your reading next, my darling. Let me just have a look. Oh, I'm on, there's multiple screens. Gupta, Parul Gupta, you're here. Fantastic, my darling. Right, I'm going to get your, this is your, what's it called? Timestamp. I will get that going right about now. Oh, maybe I won't. Maybe I've got to click the button. We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God! Right then, so Parul Gupta, I think you can see everything there. There we go. Look, you can see everything nice and clearly on my table. Let's move the pen out of the way. Nobody needs to see my pen, do they? Right, I'm just moving between decks. If you've got a preferred deck, let me know. But there we are. Parul Gupta, your question. Oh, I haven't got your question on screen, have I? I do apologise. Bear with. Here we go. Press the magic button. There we go. Your question is, may I ask, when will me and my Pisces reconcile? So then, dragons. I don't know why I've not been able to ring the bell properly today. I think my wrist is a bit weird. So then, dragons, Parul Gupta would like to know, when are they and their ex, the Pisces, going to reconcile? So what is happening with Parul Gupta and the Pisces? Let me just have a look. So then, oh, we've had a card jump. We've had a card jump, so we stopped shuffling. So this is what is known as a modifying card or a clarifying card. And we've got the Queen of Swords. Look how aloof and how cold. She feels very cold to me. She always has done. This is one of those women and one of those cards that always feels like she'd be the biggest Karen ever, the biggest biatch, you know what I mean? She really would. So just be a little bit aware of that. Just be a little bit aware of that. So this could be, depending on you know, your gender and your sexuality, this could be the Pisces person, or this could be an element that's coming in between. Again, I don't know. I don't really refer to people's genders, so I don't know what the Pisces' gender is. But the Queen of Swords is very much, she's very kind of difficult at times. She's got her own really fixed mind. She's absolutely like one. She's in what's the film? Terminator 2, where you've got the liquid Terminator who is just going after Arnold and the kid, and they're just on a fixed mind. It's like no matter what happens, oh, the floor's been turned to lava and they're going to melt. Or it's not lava, is it? It's like liquid, whatever it is, not liquid petroleum. Here we go, technical again, Lise, well done. He's got like, I don't know, he turns to liquid, doesn't he? And then he turns to like, he's frozen. And then he shatters. And then slowly the pieces melt and he pulls himself back together. And then he carries on going after the Terminator. And then they get on the car and they run away and he's on the back of the van and he clips on and he grabs on and he pulls them. No matter what they do, he's absolutely going straight after the kid and the Terminator, right? That is what this person is like. They are so fixed, so one-minded, so they've just got one agenda, and that is causing as much trouble and causing as much obstacles and challenges as possible. They are very firmly fixed. It's like if this was a soap opera, right? This would be the bad bitch. This would be the bad bitch. You know what I mean? Absolutely. This would be the bad bitch. This would be the person that's like, actually, you tell me I no longer work for you. Well, did you know I've actually bought 51% of the shares in your company, Mr. Smith? And actually, you're fired. I own the company and we're going to do it this way. It's like that, right? That's the sort of energy we're dealing with this character. Right, let's do your drop. So that's your clarifying card. That's who we're dealing with. So that could be the Pisces. It could be someone that's coming in between. I don't know. This is such a very different deck. It's all, you can see, it's like it's not wanting to slide because the deck is just so old. So we've got the Fool, the Queen of Cups, a very different feeling queen, and we've got the Page of Pentacles, a very different feeling card as well. So then, the Fool. So this is talking about the past. Now, the Fool doesn't mean that you've been foolish. It's talking about a new journey. So this is a start of a new journey. This Fool is on this mountaintop at a crossroads. They're not blindly walking off the cliff like other decks. This Fool is at the crossroads. They've walked up this hill, or did they walk up this side, or did they walk up this side? Or maybe they walked up this side and they've turned themselves around so many times, they've got themselves a little bit lost. So they're walking on a new adventure, this new area ahead, but they don't know where. They don't know where they're going. They've kind of got themselves a little bit turned around. And then here's the faithful companion to kind of go, it's all right, I'll show you which way to go. So the past here, I think you and the Pisces, I think there were moments where you were both on the same track. You both had it's like you were singing from the same hymn sheet. Yeah. You both had the map open at the same page. You were both following your GPS on your phone, whatever it is, everything was going fine. It's like there was you, there was the Pisces, or vice versa. You were quite happily going along, quite fine. And then you seem to have lost your way. And it's that where you are now. Now, I do think these two queens are very much linked. Okay. So, especially because Pisces is the sign for water. And this here is the sign for water here. Look, so this is a water sign. The Cups is a water suit. I mean, especially because she's literally sat on a throne that seems to be either floating or it's just like on an outcrop of rock. There's dolphins jumping in the background. She's got a cup in her hand, and she's also got this book. Now, what is this book? This could be her book of secrets. This could be a big black book with all the men that she's ever gone on dates with. This could be anything, but it's talking about secrets and emotions that we keep to ourselves. Okay, so even though she's the queen, and there's a really wonderful element of nurturing energy about her and loving energy, she's still got her secrets. Now, that is telling me that perhaps these two queens, in fact, very much these two queens are linked. So whether this is a disconnect of energy where secrets have been revealed, or whether this is somebody externally is coming in to cause problems between you and the Pisces, I think there's very much an issue here where it's almost like a jealousy stroke competition that's been going on. Does that make sense, Parul? It feels like someone else is involved. It's not just you and the Pisces. There's someone else involved somewhere. And it's like, this could be mother energy. Because again, the queens are slightly older. So it could be a mother that's coming in and saying, oh, actually, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. So you know what I mean? It's like someone else is getting in the Pisces ear. Or it could literally just be that someone else is absolutely intent on driving you apart. Now, you're asking about a reconciliation in the future. There's nothing here about that on the future side. The future, we've got the Page of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles is talking about finances, work, and money. And the Pages are talking about a very youthful energy. So this is very young energy. Now, the thing about the Pages for me is that they are quite naive. So they've got a lot of learning to do. You can see here, look, he stood on these books. It's springtime here on this valley. You've got the mountains in the background, this really beautiful sky, but it's very spring, so it's very early in the year. He's very green. This page is very green, so there's a lot of lessons that you need to learn here. And whether that is Pentacles for me is normally money, but just it can also be the element of work. So it feels like there's a lot of work that needs to be done. So I think that if the Pisces is young, then they've got a lot of learning to do, my darling. Before any type of reconciliation, they are not in any place to come back. They are still learning lessons in life, if that makes sense. If the Pisces is older, then they're acting very childish at the moment. They're acting very very insecure, and as if they are ignoring the lessons that they've learned. Does that make sense? Either way, it doesn't feel like there's a reconciliation happening anytime soon. I'm going to pull you one more card, my darling, just to see. Dragons, I want the top card. Let me just show you the cards. Dragons, I want the top card, and I want this card to be an advice or a single. Is the Pisces going to come back? Is the Pisces going to come back? Is the Pisces going to, like, anytime soon? So within the next 3 months, is the Pisces going to have a change of heart and come back to Parul? Let's have a look. Another page of Wands. I don't think so. This one's reversed. Wands is about security and confidence. We've got the reverse pyramid in the background. This is not the same pyramid that the Queen had. This is a very different bit of knowledge, and this reversal, they're just not aware, my darling. They are too far in their own world, in their own bubble. They are not aware. Whatever's going on with the Pisces, I do not think that you've got much grasp for within the next 3 months that's going to happen, if that makes sense, because unfortunately there's some very youthful, very childlike energy going on here. And also with this Queen coming in, it almost feels, you know, when I said mother and we've got these 2 young cards, it feels like she's in the Pisces' ear. Does that make sense? She's the one that's saying things. So whoever this mother figure is, whoever this Queen is, she's the one that's going, oh, you shouldn't be with Parul Gupta. No, you shouldn't be with this. Oh, I don't know. No. You know, all of that. So it's this person you need to bear in mind. But with that, my darling, that is your reading for today. Thank you so much for your question. I hope that helps. I know it's not the question, the answer that you were hoping for. I know that, my darling, it never is. But all I can do is give you the answer that the cards give me. I can't, you know, I mean, I could quite happily sit here and tell you, oh yes, they're going to come back to you. That Queen of Cups means they're longing for you, desire for you. They will come back. It might be what you want to hear, but it's not going to be the truth. So all I can do is give you the answer that the cards give me, my darling, and that's that. So thank you very much for your question. I wish you nothing but the very best. Please do hang around on the channel, come back and see us. We're a lovely, warm, friendly community over here, and you're more than welcome to come in, and you'll find we do a lot of relationship questions, funnily enough, and a lot of people need advice and a lot of people need a friendly ear. So feel free to come over on a Sunday, and if you then want to, you know, chip in and ask someone or help someone with, you know, your life experience and to share that in the chat, please do. And for everybody that's in the chat, if you've got any advice for Parul Gupta, if you think, you know, that whatever's happening with the Pisces, if you think that, you know, people should move on, or when things go bad, or whatever it is, whatever your experience is, if you just want to say, you know, keep your chin up, pop that in the comment section for Parul Gupta, because, you know, none of us like being in those sort of situations, do we? But anyway, thank you very much. Oh, no worries, my darling. No worries, my darling. Thank you very, very much. Yep, Izzy's coming up next. I'm just going to go and find the question. Let me just confirm over on buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. Yes, Izzy. Oh, gosh, I've got 2 Q jumps. Who's the second Q jump? And, oh, gosh, how am I going to do this then? I've got 2 Q jumps, and neither name is Izzy. Izzy, could you, oh yes, Jeanette, I've got you as well. Right, I've got Jeanette and Izzy. Thank you, Jeanette, you made that very clear, because the other one is Jeanette. Thank you. Right then, so Izzy, if you're here, come and say hello on the live my brain just malfunctioned live on screen, live on air. Right, there we go, Izzy. Right, fabulous. Let me just sort this. I need 1 second, everybody. I need to try and find a cushion. I tell you what, right, I'm going to play something. I'm going to run next door to the bedroom and try and find a cushion. What have I got that's like more than 10 seconds long? Oh, I don't think that's going to be enough time for me to run. Right. Oh, I just need to go and get something. Right. Here we go. I'm going to play this. It's 27 seconds. I need to get a cushion. My bum is getting numb. Not a good thing. Right. Let me just get my feet from my little chair. Here we go. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. And then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ding your bell, and make sure your settings are changed to all. That way YouTube should notify you each and every time I upload a video. But if you would like to support myself and this channel just a little bit more, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com/BeyondAuthentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee. Thanks so much for those of you choosing to support me. There we go. I'm going to have to come a little bit lower now, aren't I? Oh, there we go. That's better. Oh, gosh. Sorry, everyone. I've been sat here, we did an hour with or just under an hour with the Coffee Club crew over at that. We've got our own channel and everything. And then I lost my pen now. Come on, ADHD brain. Where have you put the pen? I need the pen. Right, it was a different pen. This pen's not going to work, is it? Hang on a second. I swear the pen wasn't there, right? Let me just show you. I swear the pen was not where I just saw where it is. Hang on, no, that's the wrong one. Hang on. Are you ready? Oh gosh. Right then, right. Oh gosh, right, my poor brain. I swear down it wasn't there. The good folk took it. Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. In actual fact, it would not surprise me if the Fae had taken it, because you know what my impression of the Fae is. It's not good. They're not good. They are a bugger to deal with at times. Anyway, right, Izzy, I've got your reading up. Where is it? I've got your reading up. There we go. I've got your reading up. I am doing your oh, there we go. I'm doing your timestamp right now. We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God! And so then, Izzy, let's move that to there so I know exactly where that is. Right then, Dragons, I'm going back to the Rider-Waite. I quite like alternating between these decks. So then, let me get that up. Let me get that one up. So then, Dragons, Izzy would like to know, do we see a reconciliation with the Aries? If so, when? Oh, gosh. If so, when? So then, Dragons, do we see a reconciliation with the Aries? If so, when? Let's have a look. So, Dragons, what do we see here? What do we see for Izzy 222? I know you're wanting to jump, aren't you? You're wanting to jump. But remember, Dragons, remember, if you want the card to flip, it's only one card. Look, as I was in the process of saying that, I took a breath and there's the card. Right, so what's your clarifying card? Oh, the Seven of Swords. Now then, this is an interesting card. Okay, so for me, swords represents trouble and strife, but it also represents or it can also represent things like what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Challenges and obstacles in life to deal with, right? But the Seven is one of those weird cards, because look, is this person carrying these swords, these problems away? Are they taking the problems away and dropping some and leaving these undealt with, right? Are all these swords finished with? So these are all issues that have been dealt with, and so now they're going to get melted down and made, I don't know, chest plates or chalices or whatever you make out of metal. Or is this person stealing the swords and running away, and just because they've got their arms full, they can't take these ones? Are they running away from their problems at the village, or are these problems that have been dealt with? Let's see what the cards are saying, because that could tell a few different things, especially when we're looking at a relationship reading. So then, Dragons, we're going to do your drop. Here we go, Izzy. A good solid drop, not a waterfall drop or a you know, two-piece or anything else. So, oh, my favorite card. Oh, and the Lovers. And death. Right. Wow. Oh my lordy. Right. Izzy, before we go any further, do not get worried about this card. Right. It doesn't mean what it says on the tin. This does not mean that. Right. So let me turn it over so you don't fixate on it. So we've got the past, the present, the future. Right, the past, the Empress. Now, when I turn the camera, in fact, look, here we go. If I do this very, very quickly, if I do that, look, you can see just here behind me, it's the Empress. It's the same. It's from the Rider-Waite-Smith, look, because I love this card. This is my favorite card in the entire tarot deck. So we've got the Empress coming up. Now, the Empress this way round, the Empress normally means abundance. It normally means a very nurturing, very sort of motherly energy in a very positive way, but it's talking about abundance because look, she's sat on this throne. She's got her, I think that's a scepter, orb and scepter, crown and scepter, I don't know, but she's got the scepter, she's got the crown, these trees, there's a lush growth in the background. She's on this lovely, lovely sort of chaise longue type throne. She's got the shield there with the sign of Venus for femininity and womanhood and all of those things. And then there's all of this corn here. She's got pomegranates on her dress, which are a sign of, again, wealth, and again, a sign of like loveliness and all lots of lovely positivity. And all of this corn, has it just been harvested? Is it just growing? It's a bit hard to see on this, but she's got abundance. She's not going to be going hungry. Her people are not going to be going hungry, but she's reversed, which means even when the Empress is reversed, it's still a fairly positive card for me. So she's talking here very, very firmly about she's talking about this abundance, but this is not, how can I put it, in the past this abundance has not come up easily, if that makes sense. It's like this nurturing energy, it has not been easy for you and the Aries to kind of reconcile. Sometimes the energy that comes up, sometimes this nurturing kind of maternal energy can be at odds, because you've got this sort of element of it's very, I hate to be so gender specific, but it's very motherness, you know, stereotypical kind of Disney worldview of motherness. And you've got this energy, which is all about abundance, but all about family, and this real focus on sort of family units and having kids around you and grandkids and long-term planning and all of that. And it's wonderful if you're both on the same page. It's a really wonderful thing. However, if you're not both on that same page, then it can become a bit of an issue. And this energy that surrounds the Empress, which is always about really positive, really sort of loving vibes, it's not a fling. You know what I mean? It's not short-term energy here. This is long-term familial goals. This is long-term coming together and doing things for you know, generational. This isn't just we're out for a bit of a hanky-panky. This card is a bit more about that. But when we've got this Seven of Swords coming in as well, it almost feels like the sheer nature, the sheer overwhelmingness of the Empress, of this maternal figure. It's like if the Empress was around, she'd be the one that would take in every cat on the neighborhood. You know, she would be the one that hears that somebody is homeless, or somebody's potentially going to lose their home, and she would give up her last, I don't know, her last toaster and her oven for this person who's just moved out of a hostel. Or she would give someone that's about to go homeless, she'd give them their last £100 to pay their rent. Oh, pay me back whenever. You know, sometimes the Empress can be too generous and too kind, and think about the community more than herself, and that also can rub off on the relationships that she's with. Does that make sense? So she's all about community and she's all about doing good and doing good things, but sometimes that comes along and can bite her in the bum when it comes down to these relationships, especially when you've got in the present, we've got the Lovers card, and the Lovers card is reversed. So what this would be telling me with the Seven here is that actually this spark, do I need to censor this card? Possibly, actually. I didn't realize on the original deck there's bits. But anyway, so it's talking about the Lovers this way round is very much that Garden of Eden element. Look, because we've got the tree with the apple and the snake. We've got I think that's supposed to be on fire, but the artwork is terrible. Hang on, look, if I cover up his bits, look at that. Look at that. It's supposed to be fire. But you've got the burning bush. You've got all of this iconography that it's talking about, but it's very much about these people coming together for carnal pleasure, which is fine. You know, if you're in a relationship, you're allowed to do sexy things with people. You know, that's kind of the point of a relationship and things. Not that you have to be in a relationship to do sexy things. I'm not slut shaming or anything. Whew, make sure I get that out. But this is very much a jiggy card. You know what I mean? It can also be full-on romance, but when it's this way up, it's slightly more dealing with the more jiggy, if that makes sense. It's more focused on that lust element rather than the lovers, but it's also coming up against this Empress energy. So it almost feels like I don't know whether you would represent the Empress in this situation or whether the Aries would, but it's almost like whichever one's bringing the Empress energy, it's a bit too motherly, it's a bit too looking after, caring, nurturing. It's lost a little bit of the you know what I mean? It's lost that spark. And that is where I think these issues come in. This Seven of Swords, that's where these obstacles are coming in. It's almost like it's like you're no longer on the same page. It's like you're not singing on the same hymn sheet anymore. It's like the Empress energy wants this long-term relationship. The Lover's energy might want that, but not yet. And it's like too much, too soon, too swathering, if that makes sense. And then we've got the Death card. Now, this never means death. In fact, in the other deck, in the Connolly deck, it's actually renamed Transformation. And that's why I use that deck for so many years, because generally speaking, when this card comes up, people only ever remember the Death card. But this is not the death of life. This is the death of a situation, an ending, and a very permanent ending. So this is basically, when you're asking about, is there going to be a reconciliation with the Aries? I kind of have to say, I don't think there is. I honestly don't think there is. I think this is very, very determined that there is going to be an end. So this is like the end of a chapter, end of a book, and then you move on. And I think whether the reconciliation, whether the relationship with the Aries ended recently or whether it ended a while ago, I think there's still some unresolved issues here, unresolved problems, unresolved emotions, because again, we've got the Empress and the Lovers, and I think there's a little bit of almost wishful thinking. I mean, just the tone of your question, do I see a reconciliation with the Aries? If so, when? It's like you're hoping for that. But this really feels like the best way for you to move forward is to recognize that you're kind of at the finished point, and that sometimes the best thing you can do when things end is to move on. It's like, if you've enjoyed, but also it doesn't have to be a sad thing. Like if you've enjoyed, maybe you've enjoyed a really good film, right, and you've loved the film and you've had a really, really good time watching that film, and then the film ends, the credits roll, and that's the end of it. You get up in the cinema, you walk out blinking into the sunlight, all of that, but you really enjoyed the film for what it was. You're not there thinking, oh, I hope there's going to be a part 2 or a part 17. You know, not necessarily are you there. If you've had a really good film with a really good story and it's come to its natural end, then it's like, oh, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. That was really cool. Maybe we should go and see it again. But you're never kind of thinking, I don't know, what film have they never done a sequel for? Like with Nail and Die, you never want to go back to that 40 years later to see where the characters are then, do you? You know what I mean? Or, you know, like, I don't know, because most of the films I like have got many, many, many sequels. But you know what I mean? It's like you don't often want to go back 20, 30, 40 years later and see what beloved characters are doing. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But in life, if you've read a really good book and it's all wrapped up and the story's completely ended and you've turned that final page and you've gone, oh, that was really good. The hero got the jewels in the end. The couple got together. The bad guy got his comeuppance, and it was all wrapped up. And it was all, oh, that was really, oh, I'm really glad I read that. That was really fun. You don't need a sequel, do you? You don't need a reconciliation. And that's kind of what this feels like. Hopefully, my darling, that makes sense, Izzy. I really hope it does. But that is your reading again for today. And once again, I've got to say that I have to say, that's the reading that the cards are giving me. It's probably not, once again, the reading that you're looking for tonight. But that is all I can do, is to be very, very honest, especially when you've got 3 major arcana cards coming up, and it's not even as if they are, you know, next to each other in the cards. It's not like there's a numerical thing where it's an accident of shuffling. They've come up, 2 are reversed, 1 isn't. Major arcana cards really are the fence posts. These are the big important cards that the dragons, the elemental energies, the Akashic fields want you to know. Okay, my darling, and that is that. And that is your reading. I hope it helps. I always feel so bad when people are obviously wanting a little bit more of a hopeful kind of reading, and I have to deliver an honest, truthful one, a genuine, authentic reading, and it always kind of makes me a little bit upset that isn't what you come here looking for today. But that is your reading, my darling, and I really do hope that helps. And with that, thank you very much for your reading. Thank you very much for your question. And thank you very much for donating over at buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. But that is your reading. And again, I know that everybody on this channel, all of our lovely friends in the comment section, would do nothing but to wish you very well for the future, and to say that, you know, I wish you nothing but the very best myself, my darling. But thank you for your question today. Right then, up next is Jeanette. I've just seen you post in the live, Jeanette, so thank you very much for that. I just swapped cameras and so I could come and see this. So then, Jeanette, let me just click on that magic button there. So yeah, we've got Jeanette is the next person to queue jump. So coming up after Jeanette, I think we go to, I can't remember. I'll have to have a look on hang on. BTS Has Jams. I think we go BTS after that. So then, Jeanette, I'm going to come and do your reading now. And thank you very much. What's the outcome? Intentions Mo wants between us. Oh, I think I've got your question there actually as well. Let me do it. What is the outcome? Oh, yes, I have. Yes, fantastic. Right then, I'm going to do your timestamp right about now. Which one is it? This one. We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God. Jeanette. So then, dragons, we've got Jeanette, who has very kindly donated. Don't forget, if you are wanting to queue jump, you can go along to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can in fact donate, excuse me, to queue jump. You can also become a channel member, where you get to do a hangout. Excuse me, my coffee is repeating on me tonight. Where you get to hang out with us, with other channel members. We do a pre-live live, so on a Sunday evening about 6 o'clock. Tonight it was slightly later because I forgot, didn't I, that the clocks went forward or back, whatever they did. So I was not ready at all. But anyway, we get to hang out. We just have a general chit chat. Sometimes you get to do things like choose the decks, like we've done today. These are decks I haven't used in. This deck I retired. It was a retired deck. I didn't think it would ever come back on the channel, but you know. And the Rider-Waite Smith is a deck that I don't often use on this channel. So the wonderful Coffee Club crew, who we call our channel members, they were over there today and they donated this. Hang on. Let me just, I've seen your other question. There we go. You're over 1,000 subscribers. I know, but unfortunately, Neil, over 1,000 subscribers doesn't mean that we can do channel memberships and things like that, unfortunately, because we don't have 4,000 hours of watch time. So because people jump in and jump out on the readings, it means that the actual, although we stream for what, 2 hours on this channel, we don't get 2 hours of watch time every Sunday or every Tuesday. So people jump in and jump out. So we're way down on the 4,000 hours. So when I don't know when we're ever going to be able to do what is it they do, super chats and things like that, and the sticker things that you can do now, and the super thanks, is that a thing? Super thanks, did I see somebody was doing a super thanks? All of that, I don't know what any of that is, because we don't have that on this channel, and on the other channel we just haven't really been posting. But anyway, right. Jeanette, we've been talking more recently, but he says we can't be together because of both of our families being a block. Oh dear. Do you see anything about his intentions or what he wants the outcome to be different? Or do you think he's stuck on the idea about family being a block? Okay, my darling, I will have a look for you. Let's have a look. And it's Mo, isn't it? Right then, dragons. My hands do not want to ring this bell today. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Dragons, good evening. Jeanette would like to know, do we see anything about Mo's intentions? Do we see anything about Mo coming back? Do we see that? Well, that was just a shuffling error, by the way. What's his outcome and intentions between Mo and Jeanette? Right. That's what we want to know, dragons. What are the outcome and intentions between Mo and Jeanette? That's what we want to know. Whoa, that's a very definite turn. There we are. Look. Oh, no, that's not. So you know how I just said that the death card doesn't mean death? This is one of the other cards that's been renamed. It's the 15th card of the Major Arcana. Read into that whatever you will. Other tarot readers, you'll know which one this is normally called. But this card is all about materialism. So this is your clarifying card, Jeanette. So this is basically not overruling, but this is the card that all of the other three that I'm about to pull get filtered through. So I think the issue here, when you've got this family block, it's about money at the end of the day. It's about materialism. It's about things. This isn't about how he feels. This isn't about, whether he loves you or whether he sees a relationship in the future or anything like that. This is about materialism being at the core of this problem. So let me just do your drop. Here we go. It's going to go. No, I knew it was going to be a double then. I knew it. I could feel it in my water. Right, let's have a look. So what have we got? We've got the 3 of Pentacles, money. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. That's a positive card, maybe. And we've got the Tower. Right. So then what are we looking at? So you've got, again, this is an important reading for you, Jeanette, my darling. The reason I'm saying that is out of 4 cards that you've got on a normal 3-card reading, because we've got your clarifying card up here. Out of these 4 cards, 3 of them are Major Arcana cards. So these are the headline cards. These are the really important cards that, this is like the tarot deck screaming at you. Okay, this is like, sometimes you might have a dream repeatedly, and it kind of, you keep getting the same dream until you figure out what the dream's trying to tell you, and then you don't have that dream again. This is a bit like that. These 3 cards here, Materialism, Wheel of Fortune, and the Tower, are really trying to give you a really strong message. Okay, so then the past, we've got the 3 of Pentacles here in the past. Now, what does the 3 tell us? Again, for those of you that have been watching me regularly, when I say the 3 is about learning and the 3 is about apprenticeships and things like that, this is where this comes from this deck. Because look, we've got the student here in a tradesman's type outfit. So this is the student, but they are learning. They've got the qualification in their hand, and they've got a nun and a monk. So this represents the fact that back in the olden days, the only people that were able to read were those that were transcribing and copying or even translating the Bible. And those people had to be very, very carefully trained in how to copy down different words and how to literally make copies, but also some of the apprentices would learn how to read and how to read different languages in order to be able to translate the Bibles. So this card is all about learning. It's all about that apprenticeship. But when we've got materialism here, it's telling me that this is somebody who, again, if this is about that person, Jeanette, if this is about Mo, then it feels very much like Mo has been studying or wanting to better himself in the past. It's like he was working towards something. And it almost feels like if you were at university together, it almost feels like when you were at uni, the pair of you could be friends and hang out and get close, but it was never going to be a long-term thing. Does that make sense? Because it almost feels like it's fine when you're both poor, struggling students, but this materialism comes in. It's like, what happens when we get these next? What happens when I've got my diploma, my, you know, degree, and I'm off earning mega bucks? Do I want to be with somebody like Jeanette? Do I want to be held back? It feels almost that mercenary because of this materialism. It really does feel like it's very much, how can I say, it feels very much like the family block is almost like an excuse. It's almost like, I don't want to say it, but it almost feels like there's some snobbishness going on from him, and it almost feels like he sees you beneath him in some way, or not so much he sees you beneath him, he sees himself above you, right? Put it that way. And this is almost going into arrogance. It's almost like, look at what I've done. Look at what I'm doing. Look at my future plans. Look how wonderful the world is going to be for me and my family. And, oh, I couldn't possibly be with anybody like you because I'm so much better, you see. I'm just so, look at me. I'm so wonderful, aren't I? You know how some influencers on TikTok and on YouTube, you just want to smack them in the face. Is it just me? You just want to slap them? Is that just me? If it's you as well, if you're watching this, right, and you've ever watched a YouTuber and thought, oh my God, if it's me, you can say it's me. But if you've ever watched someone and you think, oh my God, I really just want to slap them in the face. Like that person really, I'm not violent. I'm never violent. But there's some people on YouTube and on TikTok, they're just so bloomin', what's the word I'm looking for? They're so entitled, right? And they're all these Karens, and look at me, and I just want to slap them. I know. Does that make me a wicked person? Am I a wicked person for wanting to slap entitled influencers? Let me know if I am, because honestly, let me know, because I'm trying not to be like that. But it's really hard. It's really hard. But that's kind of what he's like. You know these TikTokers where it's like you get, and they're all young, right? So they're all like super. Oh, I'm about to go on a rant. Rant warning. Rant warning, 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 rant, incoming rant, hang on.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on
incoming transmission. Incoming transmission.
Incoming rant, right. They're all like 22 or 23, right? And they're all young and fit and a bit stupid, right? So that's what they're like. They're all like young and they're all very pretty, and the girls are very pretty and the boys are even prettier, and they all like, the girls always wear midriff revealing tops and the boys always have their shirts off for no reason. I'm going to Walmart shopping for, no, it's never Walmart, is it? It's always like whatever high-end shops are. There's like going shopping in Gucci with their tops off. You know what I mean, right? So they're always doing that. They're always off doing that. And then they're like, this is my Porsche. Oh, you've got the Porsche. Well, I've got the Ferrari. Oh, well, I've got the Bugatti, blah, 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 blah. And they're all like jumping in and out of these fast sports cars, and off they go. And they're so entitled. And then it's like, wow, my dad gives me $50,000 a month. And you're like, you are? You're not even making your own money. Like, we could all be entitled arseholes if we had rich parents, right? That is the vibe I'm getting from this. I do apologize, Jeanette. Mo might be a really lovely, wonderful person, but it feels very much like that sort of vibe that I'm getting with these cards. I don't know why, but that's really what it feels like, Jeanette. And it feels like it feels like at the moment, right? Whatever's happened, wherever you've got through, it feels like where you are now, there's a massive amount of opportunity, and there's a lot of new options that are coming your way, right? Because of this Wheel of Fortune card. So the Wheel of Fortune is a really positive card, right? It's talking about lots of opportunity, lots and lots of new things coming your way. You can spin this wheel, lots of wonderful things happening, right? Really good. But there's also quite a bit of risk involved. And so you could spin this wheel and you could end up with the chalice, the hearts, the flowers, the romances, or you could spin this wheel and end up on the swords, the challenges. And so or you could end up on the cups or the, whatever. But just say, we'll go with the materialism, right? So you spin this wheel, you end up on the financial thing. Everything's rosy. Look at all this money we're making, money, 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 but there's no love, no security in this relationship. And the challenges, the money's just there. There's no challenge. There's no worth. Money doesn't have any value because you've landed on here. Or you spin it and you end up on the cups, right? So now you've ended up in cups. Everything's about love, but you haven't got a pot to pee in. You've got, again, the challenges here aren't, they're not realistic challenges. They're just like, you know, never mind, we're so in love, we can conquer everything. And eventually life turns sour because there's always a downside to some of these when the Wheel of Fortune's in play, because there's always risks. And when you've got materialism here, it's really as a focus on the material things in life. It's the ultimate, you know, sometimes when you see the pentagram reversed, it's the material, the earthly above spirit. And so it's talking about the focus isn't about from Mo, the focus in this relationship isn't about you two coming together, having a loving relationship, being a wonderful partnership, growing your lives together. The focus from Mo is what he can get out of it, because his focus is on the earthly things. It's about money and coins and things like that. You know what I mean? That's where his focus is. And then we've got this tower. Now, this is where I say, this is why I get this bad vibe, because my gut is telling me the reason I went to influencers and TikTok and YouTube and went on that little rant, the reason I went down that road is purely and simply because this tower is all about artifice. It's about masks. It's about fake reality. So again, take that example of that 20-year-old driving around in their Ferrari, right? They're going, oh, look at me, I've earned my Ferrari. Well, how did you earn your Ferrari? Oh, well, I managed to get an A in an exam and my daddy gave me the Ferrari. Well, you haven't earned it, have you? You just got an A. You just studied. Like, that's not earning a Ferrari. You've just studied. Like, anybody can study. We're not all in a position to have millionaire parents, billionaire parents to buy us Ferraris. That's stupid. But it's that lifestyle that those influencers put up. Look at me. I'm going to Gucci. I'm doing this. I'm buying. Yeah, but it's not your money. It's daddy's money. And you're just riding along on the coattails. And so none of this is real. None of this is hard work that you're putting in. You know what I mean? You're paying somebody to edit your videos. You're paying somebody to film them. You're paying someone to give you all the best video ideas. You're not doing any actual work. You're just on camera, love. And this is about that. The tower is about something that you've built up and you spent a lot of time building and growing and controlling. And then it all comes tumbling down because it wasn't real in the first place. So whether this is the relationship, it's like it wasn't based on a solid ground. It wasn't based on solid foundations. It's like, you know, the old parable about the house built on sand. It really feels like that. It feels like this house was built on sand. The relationship was built almost like, again, almost like it feels like he's kind of gone, you'll do for now. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of vibe. And when he's saying about the block is the family, again, that feels very, it feels very icky to me. It feels like that's an excuse, my darling. It feels like it's an absolute excuse. It feels like whatever, if he wanted to, put it this way, right? If you were star-crossed lovers, look at Romeo and Juliet, look at anybody, right? Look at people in general, maybe not Romeo and Juliet, seeing as they both died before the age of 15, and you know that's never a good thing. But look at any couple, right? We all sacrifice things to be with the people that we love. We might sacrifice an old lifestyle. We might sacrifice, you know, moving abroad because you go, oh, do I want to take this job or am I going to stay with this person that I've just started a relationship with? They can't move abroad, so I have to make a decision. Or it might be that, I don't know, the person that you are hopelessly in love with is horrendously allergic to cats. So you can't have a cat in the house because you can't make your loved one be incredibly ill every day. So you make those sacrifices. But this feels like Mo isn't interested in that. Like if there was a way, if Mo wanted to be with you, he would be with you, my darling. And all of this just feels like excuses. It feels like this family block idea. It feels again like the block is coming from the family. And it's almost like somebody in the family is saying, she's beneath you. And just you wait, darling. I know, well, she's perfectly fine to have a girlfriend, you know, while you're trying things out. But of course, she's not wife material. And it feels very much like that, where there's this stuck up, entitled vibe going on. And no, I don't think you're going to have another tower, my darling. I don't think you're going to have a tower. I think this is the future, where it's all like the reveal is about to happen. It feels like the reveal is about to happen, my darling. It really does. It feels like, for him, he's going to get a short, sharp shock. That's what this card is about, a short, sharp shock. Okay, so it feels like this needs to come down. Think of it like this, right? I don't know whereabouts you are in the world, but here in the UK, we've got tower blocks, right? Council estates, so put up by the, oh, what would you call it? The corporations, the councils, the cities, right? So they built concrete tower blocks in the 60s and 70s. And they were designed, you know, supposed to be these nice sort of living places, but they're actual hovels. They're really not. Some of them are nice, but most of them are really not nice, right? They're not pleasant. There's like cardboard boxes stacked on top of one or the other, made out of concrete, with lifts that never work, and people pee in the lifts. And they're all, they were never designed. They're never really fit for proper human habitation, right? And they're all in concrete estates where everything is concrete. You might have a little patch like this where they plant 4 trees. Everything else is just concrete everywhere. And those towers were still standing, and some places they are still standing, but here it feels like the towers, the tower blocks that are still up, right, they need to be knocked down. Those tower blocks need to come down, and then the whole land can get renovated. It can get landscaped. And these ugly concrete block monstrosities, they need to just completely get knocked down to the ground, bulldozed, and then all of the rubble taken away, dig down, new foundations, new beautiful buildings put up, right? And after that, once you've got these new beautiful buildings, or, you know, in a city park or whatever they do with that land, it's going to look 10 times better than these monstrosities that were there. And that's what this card is, right? This card is the rose-tinted glasses coming off the relationship, right? This is the truth being revealed, and everything is now being seen for the first time as it actually is. That tower is coming down. That, excuse my language, that bullshit relationship is coming down, and you're finally seeing things for how they are. Now, once that happens, there's all this new land that's suddenly available to build on. Okay. And so the answer to the question about his intentions and outcomes, no, my darling, he doesn't want to be with you. He isn't going to be coming back. This tower is fallen. He's seen what he wanted. He got what he wanted. And that's that. And the tower will come down. You will move on, and in the place of this fake relationship tower, you're going to build something beautiful, my darling. Whether it's a garden, whether it's a stunning new whatever, you're going to build something new in your future. But at the moment, it feels that you're really hanging on to the idea that Mo's going to come back, that he's going to say, oh, but actually everything's wrong. I really do love you. And, you're the only one for me. And I don't care what the family feel. I don't care anything else. And money means nothing to me. And it's all about love. That's what you're hoping for. But that isn't what the cards are saying, my darling. It's like the tower's going to come down. You're going to clear that space. And then in the future, somewhere over here, probably a little bit further off over here, you're going to have this lovely new mansion that you're going to build, and it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to have the best garden, and it's going to have the best swimming pool. It's going to be you and your loved one, you and your partner, the right person. You're going to build this wonderful house together, and you're going to forget that there was ever a tower built on that land, right? And that's where you need to get to, but that isn't going to happen with Mo. And with that, my darling, I hope that helps. I really do hope that helps. Sorry, it was a bit of a long reading, wasn't it? I was trying to get to the point without also then going off on a tangent about influencers, but that's very much what it feels like. It feels very much like he's kind of got what he wanted from things. And I hate that attitude. It really does feel very, very difficult, put it that way, very difficult. But that is your reading, my darling. I hope that helps. And yeah, that is again, it feels like I've just been the bringer of bad news tonight. It really does. It just feels every reading, it's like you're hoping I'm going to say this, and actually I dash your spirits and say something else. But I can only give you the readings that the cards give me, my darling. But with love and peace, I wish you nothing but the very best. And thank you very much for your reading. Right then, who have I got next? Who have I got next? BTS Has Jams. Hello, BTS Has Jams. Oh, your name is Taylor. Haha. Hello, Taylor. I've just seen that question. Let me just go back to this one. Where is the original question? Is that the same original question? Yes, right, cool, fabulous. Right then, we're going to stay with, no, I'm going to stay with the Ride Away. I'm going to go back to the Ride Away. Right then, dragons, BTS Has Jams. I love that, by the way. It's like, is that BTS as in behind the scenes? Or is that BTS as in the K-pop group? Or is that BTS as in... Oh, it stood for something else. I've just completely forgotten what it was. Anyway, right, 1:46. Let's do your timestamp right about now. We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God! Going to show my ignorance now. BTS is the K-pop band, and is it Jin? Is that who's in your? I can't see who your photo is. Oh, look at that! I'm you can't see what I'm doing. I'm doing this, right? I'm doing this. If you imagine what the cursor's doing this around your picture, but I still can't see. I can't see it because it's too small right in the corner there. Oh, it was from the K-pop group. So who is that person in your profile picture then? Before we go any further, let's get that. Namjoon. Okay, I don't know who that one is. I've heard of some of the BTS people. I do like, and is it? Oh God, Blackpink. Blackpink is another one, isn't it? They're very similar with BTS, but isn't one girls and one boys, but they've gone on tour together. Is that right? Am I just making this up? I don't know. Anyway, back to the... Lisa tries to do pop culture at the age of 473. I know. Honestly, I do know some of pop culture stuff. It's not all from like 150 years ago Star Trek. Well, maybe it is. I know, right? Right then, Taylor, let's have a look. Dragons, Taylor, otherwise known as BTS Has Jams, would like to know, is there a job opportunity coming up soon? Maybe not in a K-pop band, but you know, you never know. Oops. Right then, dragons, is there a job opportunity coming up soon for Taylor, otherwise known as BTS Has Jams? Let's have a look. Oops, there we go. See, sometimes when a card jumps, it's just a card. If there's a whole bunch of cards drop, that's just a shuffling failure. That isn't a mystical anything. Whoa, that, however, that single card over the top of my thumb as I'm talking about cards flipping. Thank you, Wispy. Wispy is our air dragon, air elemental. That is definitely a card flipping. So you've got a modifier. Wispy's been absolutely on, I think, almost every reading, isn't he, today? Right then, so that is your... Thank you, Wispy. That is your drop. That's your modifying card. Let's have a look at your drop. There we go. So then let's have a look. Job opportunities, job opportunities, job opportunities. Ooh. Right then. So what are we looking at here? So we've got this 7 of Cups coming up as your modifier. Now the 7 of Cups is about emotions and about relationships, love, affection, all of those positive things. But the Seven of Cups is about gifts. So at the moment, it seems like either you have some gifts that you need to decide which ones to use, which would be really fascinating, or you're being offered some gifts at the moment and you just need to decide what ones are going to be more important. The reason I'm saying that is that, look, each one of these cups has different things coming out of them. So this one's got a cloth that's somehow glowing. We've got, I don't know if that's going to be a crystal or a rock or something there. We've got jewels. We've got a gold laurel leaf. We've got, I can't even work out. This is why I prefer the more modern version of this deck. You've got something there. Could be a fish. Could be, I don't know what that is supposed to be, but there's something there. Look, if you can work out what it is, then yeah, that. Could be a wolf, a dog, don't know, a serpent, and obviously a face. So there's lots of different things going on, lots of different things that you're being offered at the moment, right? So this could be very much about you having quite a lot of opportunity to feel your heart's desire, because this is about romance, right? Above all. Now then, we've got the King of Wands coming up in your past position. Now, the King of Wands is about security and confidence. So I think you are this. Normally, I would say this represents the person. So I think you've gone through quite a bit recently where you're feeling a lot more positive, a lot more secure. So whatever the job area is that you're looking for, I think it almost, do you know, I want to say that there is some sort of performance involved. I really do. I really want to say that. I think there's almost, it feels like whatever this job is, it's something that you have to be really confident about. It has to be something that you're really like, you have to be really sure of yourself. So whether that's acting or whether that's singing or whether it's just, you know, boss type energy, it feels very much like that. It feels very much like you have to be really much, this is what I'm doing. I got this. I can do this until the sky turns black, or blue, or whatever it does. You know what I mean? I can do this. I've got this. It's fine. This is nothing. This is not a hardship for me. I'm so confident. I can just do it standing on my head with one hand tied behind my back. I am really good at this. It's like, you know your worth, right? This isn't bragging. This is very much having that confidence from knowing that you've got those skills. Does that make sense? It's like, I know I'm a very good tarot reader on the interwebs because I've done it in person, right? And I know I've seen many not so good tarot readers on the interwebs. And so for me, I'm quite confident in saying that I am a good tarot reader, whether it's online or in person, because I've been doing it 28 years. And that isn't arrogance. That is just me saying, this is one of those things in my life. I don't have many skills. I've got very few, but this is one of them. And it's a bit like for you. You might not have millions of skills, but you know what you're bloody good at. Now, in the present, we've got the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess, normally for me, she's quite an aloof person. She kind of, you know, she sits between these two pillars. She's quite a liminal character. So between, she's holding the Taurus, so she's holding secrets. But it feels a little bit different than that at the moment. It feels like, because she is standing between these options, it feels almost like there's a gatekeeper involved somewhere here. Now, whether your jobs that you're wanting to go in have some sort of spiritual element, because the High Priestess is very spiritual, she's also very, very dogmatic. So she's very like, she likes things done by the book. You can see there's the Torah here. She likes things done in a very specific way. And once those things are done in that way, that's when she's happy. That's when she can move forward. But she's also the spiritual leader of her nation. Okay, so she's right up there. We had the Empress before. The Emperor and Empress lead the people. The High Priestess and the Hierophant lead the spiritual nature of the people. You have those two things in tandem, and then that's how countries are run. When those two things are at loggerheads is when you get civil war and disharmony. So it feels very much like there is a spiritual element coming in, particularly with this card. Because you're being offered lots of things that will make you happy right now, it's kind of like you need to follow what is not just your heart, but what is following your spirit, if that makes sense, right? So what I would say is that if you are, I don't know, if you are thinking about tarot reading, mediumship, anything down the spiritual realm, then again, this is a very well suited thing. But it doesn't just mean that. It means going with what's it called? What is the thing called? The wonderful chat will know. What's the thing called where you look at something and you look at an old t-shirt or you look at a bag, right? And you go, does this bring me joy? Yes, it sparks joy. It can stay. Or you go, does this bring me joy? Well, it's not really. Get rid. Whatever that is, whatever that method of life is, that's what this is about, right? Does this job that you are headed for, does the career that you are looking at, does that bring you joy? If it does, if it sparks joy, it ignites, it connects the things that you are being offered by the universe with your experience and your confidence with what is right for you spiritually, right? And that doesn't mean you have to be religious or anything like that, but it's what fulfills you. Thank you, Holland. The Marie Kondoing. Yes, Marie Kendo, yeah, that. Anyway, that. So it's that move basically, and then in the outcome we've got the 5 of Swords. Now the 5s are traditionally quite a combative number, so I do think Swords for me is about trouble and strife, so I do think there are some challenges for you ahead, right? There are going to be some challenges career wise. I think you've got some hurdles to jump through before you end up in whatever the career is that you want. You've got some hurdles that you need to get through before you find it, if that makes sense, because this is coming up reversed. Now, that's not a negative, because if you look here, the main person on this card is holding 3 of the 5 swords. So you're already aware of some of the challenges. You're already aware, whether that means you're dealing with them or whether that just means you're waiting for them to come is a little bit up in the air. I'm going to pull you another card. Dragons, we want one more card. The KonMari method. Thank you. That's the thing. Dragons, one more card, and it's the 3 of Wands. Again, it's coming full circle. So the 3 of Wands, this is, sorry, I didn't even specify, did I? This is how you get through this challenge with the obstacles, okay? It's back to reaffirming your confidence. It's about showing your confidence, but not being arrogant. This is really important. I think, how can I put this without blowing smoke up your ass? Right, okay. Taylor, whatever these gifts are that you have, right? It feels very much like you are very good at something, right? There's a bit like me with tarot. There's something that you are very good at, you're very self-assured about, you're very confident, but it can come across to others, sometimes it can almost veer into arrogance, right? And that's what these two are now warning. So this is how you get around that. This is that feeling of other people will take you the wrong way because they'll see you. I don't know whether you're as young as your BTS fandom and things would suggest, because that tends to be a younger person. But if you are supremely confident for a young person, a lot of people will disregard that. They will just ignore it. They will just see you as being, oh, well, you're young, you don't know nothing. Of course you think you know everything because you're young. We all did. Ha, ha, ha. But actually, you could be bloody right. Okay. When I first picked up the tarot deck at 28, after like the first year, I was bloody good at it because this comes really naturally to me. And again, it's one of those things where when I first started reading, people would be like, oh, how long have you been reading for? And I go, oh, I've been reading for a year or 2 years or whatever. And they go, oh, that's a nice reading. I'm going to go and see a proper tarot reader now. And I still get that, right? I still get that. Because sometimes people will say, well, you're giving readings for free on the internet, so you can't be a proper tarot reader. And I'm like, well, this is something that I'm in a fortunate position that I don't have to desperately overcharge people for. I don't have to, you know, say this is a £50, £60 reading. I've done readings at 50, 60, £75. I've done that. Like, people were willing to pay that for my skill set, but that isn't where I'm at, because that isn't what I want to be doing with my life. But if you say that at the age of 20, 25, people look at you as if you're bonkers. If you say that at the age of 45 with 20 odd years experience, people then go, ah, I see, I understand. And this is what this is saying. Okay, it's saying that these hurdles, it's almost like if you go in for an interview or an audition or whatever it is, and you walk in and you've got that sort of slightly cocky swagger, people are going to take that the wrong way. People are going to find that in a really difficult way to deal with, because they're going to take one look at you and go, you haven't earned that yet. So my advice would be to step it back, find the things, again, with the confidence, find where you are, you are working on your confidence, yourself, your how you portray that confidence, but also to maybe pull it back a little bit. The reverse 3, pull it back, bring it just down a couple of notches, even if it's alien, right? Even if it's something where you're like, no, I know this, I've done this even if it's all of that, right? Even if it's all of that. I don't have a single qualification in tarot. Back when I started, there wasn't a degree, a diploma, a course, anything like that. It just didn't exist. You learned by doing, you learned by experience, you learned by connecting with the cards in your own way. So when I was 20 odd, well, when I was 18, but by the time I got into my early 20s, right, at that point, I was in that position where I was able to go, I've been reading for 3 or 4 years, but I don't read the tarot the way that you do. I read it my own way. And so many tarot readers used to say to me, well, that's wrong. Swords, it's not about trouble. It's not about trouble and strife. It's about air. This is about, and this, I still get this sometimes. It's not swords. It's about thoughts. It's about air. It's the air symbol. It's about ideas and creativity. And okay, maybe it is for you, Brenda, but it's not for me. And wands, well, wands is all about, physical places, and it's about, no, well, maybe that is for you. For me, it means something else. And I had to stand my ground. And this is saying that to you as well. It's where you have to learn to say, instead of saying, actually, you're fucking wrong, because for me, this means trouble and strife. That's what I get. And that's when I say that to people, that's what they connect with. And that's why this works. And that's this, and this, and this, and this, and that. Instead of saying that, you say, oh, well, that's very understandable. But the way I interpret it, I use my personal life skills, and I use my own understanding, and I interpret it slightly differently. So if you want a tarot reader who will go by the very traditional methods and the very traditional meanings, that isn't going to be me. I prefer reading in a much more intuitive way. And I had to really stand my ground. And so I know your question is about, is there a job offer coming up? I think there is, because of these gifts. I think there is, but I think you need to be super careful to go in kind of humble, if that makes sense. Go in humbly, and go in kind of, even if you know the answers, and put it this way, right? Whether it's an audition or an interview, even if you know more than the person auditioning and interviewing you, even if you are more skilled, even if you have more experience, even if you are above in every single recordable method, they are the ones who are in the position to offer you that work. So you've got to, in the ultimate leveler is that they are in a position to offer you it, and you are down here in that pecking order. And it might not be comfortable. You might have skills that outshine them 19 to 1. However, you're still in that pecking order. And until you're in their position or above, you've got to play by their rules and their game. Okay, BTS. Hopefully that BTS has jams. Hopefully, Taylor, that makes sense. And yeah, Dragons, one more card for Taylor. Are we going to get job opportunities coming up anytime soon? I'm going to cut the deck rather than doing the jump. So we want this card here. Fives, lots of fives. I think, again, you've got a lot of, it's going to be an interesting journey, right? This came up reversed. I think it's going to be an interesting journey. I think you are, it very much feels like this is creative arts somehow. And I think it's going to be a little while until you find the job that is going to be that is going to be absolutely right for you. But you've got to keep going to auditions. You've got to keep going to interviews. You've got to keep putting your face out there and putting your neck on the line, so to speak. You've got to keep fighting through, because eventually someone's going to say, I spot that within you. And your favorite number's 5. That's fantastic. But I think here you've got to do this thing that you've got to do this thing. Hang on, let me show you. Right. You've got to do it in a way that you outshine others without being arrogant, which is really difficult. Show, hang on, show, don't tell. Right, dragons. Thank you, dragons. The dragons are giving me wispy. Thank you. Right, this is what the advice is, right? And we've gone far beyond tarot now. This really is creative arts. I don't know what it is you do, but it is something creative and artistic and performative. What you need to do is you need to stand out from the crowd, not by being arrogant, not by humble bragging, and not by being fake, but just showing your skill set. Just show them your skills. If it's acting, show them that you can act. Show them, put the work in and show them. And if they don't see it, maybe it's because they want somebody who is 5 foot tall, not 6'3", or they want somebody who is fat, not thin, or dark haired, not blonde haired, whatever. Don't take that to heart. It's about show your skill set. Show, don't tell. Don't tell someone that, oh my God, when I was at school, I was voted #1 for this, and this, and I could do this. Don't do that. That's not how you do it. Do it by showing them. And when you're sat in an interview, or when you're sat in an audition, when you're behind the scenes in the green room, and or in the waiting room, whatever it is, especially if it's theatre based, when you're there, you'll look around and you'll see all these people, right? And you'll see the ones that are like, oh my God, I'm going to get this. I'm so wonderful. I'll kiss my ass. Everybody loves me. Me. You'll see those types. Just clock them. And don't do that, right? Go in. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you, Miss Smith. Thank you, Mux Williams. Whoever it is, thank you very much for the opportunity, to interview or to audition with you. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. I'm going to do this. And then you do your bit, you get out and you go, right? Let your agent, whoever it is, I don't know what you do, but it's going to be an agent, right? When you get an agent, let your agent do all the talking and big you up. You just be the nice one, right? I would have said Will Smith up until the slap, but hang on, let me come back off this camera. You be the one where people talk about you for being sure of yourself and capable without being arrogant. You be the one that they talk about when other celebrities or other people go and they talk about themselves, or they go on to, chat shows and stuff. Be the one where they say, oh, you'll never guess. Like, I know Taylor, you'd think with a body like that, or a voice like that, or whatever it is, with skills like that, you'd think Taylor was right big-headed and up their own ass. Actually, they're really, really wonderful. And actually, I don't think they even know how good they are. But secretly, you're like, I know how good I am. I just don't have to prove it. And because I don't have to prove it, I just perform. And once you get to that point, the rest is gravy. And with that, everybody, oh my God, we've gone over 10 minutes over time. Oh, why does nobody tell me? Mods, you've got to tell me. I can just talk for England. Thank you so much, everybody. There's so many questions we didn't get to tonight. Oh my God. Wolfboyo, come and see me. Oh no, hang on. Right. Wolfboyo, will tomorrow go well for me escaping? I'm going to do yours. Wolfboyo is a very good friend of the channel. Let me have a look. Dragons. Also, though, Taylor, when you are rich and famous, you can book me at my £75 a tarot reading session. So when you've got all the money in the world, right, hook a sister up. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much. Wolfboyo. Let's have a look. Dragons, Wolfboyo, will tomorrow go well for me? Wolfboyo is running to a place of safety, not far from us here, Dragons. So Wolfboyo needs to know, is tomorrow going to be a positive mood? Is this going to go? Don't throw the cards on the floor, Lisa, you daft bitch. Is this going to go well for Wolfboyo? Let's have a look. Let me have a look. It's such a grey deck, aren't they? Such a grey deck after using it for so long. Oh, let me move the camera out of the way. Right, let me have a look. Okay. Right, Wolfboyo, we've got the 5 of Cups has come up reversed in the past. This is about, hang on, is it going to be easier if I do it this? Let me line them up and put the other camera back on. Mods, if you need to head off, please feel free. Thank you very much for everything tonight. I'm just going to do Wolfboyo's reading as the last one. So this is crying over spilt milk, basically, right? So this is about losing sight, looking at the things that have been knocked over, forgetting about this up on the side. I think that time for that is over. I think you've tried really hard to make a go of things where you are. You've really tried, and it's been pressing on your mind about how things have gone and how things should have gone, and the position that you found yourself in, put it that way, right? And I think that you've been really upset about that, but also this is the time for you to realize that actually you've done what you can. There is a time and a place where you do actually have to move on and remember that things, like, there are still cups upright. Does that make sense, my darling? There is still hope. There is still a way out. Even though this feels really horrible, it feels like there's just nothing. Remember that you do have these cups here, even though it feels very, very alien. It feels very much like you don't have, like, there's nothing positive coming of this, but there is, right? Just remember that there is. The future, we've got the Page of Cups. So this is, excuse me, this is very different. Sorry, not the future, the present. This is Page of Cups. So this is what's happening in the next few weeks. This is next few days. This is a very firm, it's a youthful card, because it's the Page, but the Cups is coming in. I think this is going to feel a lot better once you're out of that situation, right? Once you're in a safe environment and you are able to take a breath, I think you're going to feel much more comfortable, much more at home with the situation, and you're going to feel much more at ease, I guess. You're going to feel much more able to do things, and I think that's going to feel a lot better. Does that make sense? It's going to feel almost like it's filling your heart back up with joy. Does that make sense? Like it's going to be it's not a horrendous time. It's going to get better. This then did come up upside down. Sorry, bear with. This came out flipped, and then as I've dropped it, it's flipped back. So the 9, is it the 9? Yes. Roman numerals. Am I the only one that has to look at it twice? Because I always think it's 11. I always think that's 11. And when it's that way up, I go, it's 11, but then it's reversed and then my brain doesn't work. So the 9, this is where you were, right? And this is the future, but this is kind of where you were. This is indicative of where you were. So you've got this situation where you've sat for too long watching this possible future die off, right? And the 9 of Pentacles here, I often talk about Pentacles being, 9s being like the end of the journey, 10s being excess. This deck, it never came from that. That's why I've only started to, as I've used different decks, I've started to change my readings ever so slightly. So this really does feel like, yes, it's going to get, the immediate future is not going to be rosy, right? Let's put it that way. You're not going to, tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening, you're not going to sit there and be in a wonderful mansion with lots of lovely things around you, everything being super wonderful, super great, super wonderful, right? It's not going to feel like that. It's not going to feel like that for a while, but it is going to start improving, right? Because this is the card where she's very content looking out her window. Oh wow, things are dying off, but there'll be another spring. Everything's grand. I'm in this luxury house right now, you know, with these multiple paneled windows and huge windows in my lounge. Look at this. No, you are going to be sat there, my darling, right? Like she is there, like this way up, but you are going to be sat here for a little while, waiting for things to start falling back into place. But they are going to fall back into place, and it's going to feel like you're going to wait forever, but it isn't going to be forever, right? Your situation will improve, and it's going to improve pretty much, like, you know, I only see 6 weeks into the future, so it's not going to be forever, and it's not even going to be the full 6 weeks. It really isn't. Dragons, give me one more card. We want a card of hope, please, for Wolfboyo. Okay, we got the 7 of Swords. Now this is again really interesting. So this is talking about, this is why I love this deck, and it's why I used to read with this deck exclusively for 20 odd years. So Seven of Swords, you've seen it in other decks where it's the swords being left. This is saying that you are aware of a lot of the hardships to come. There's still going to be a couple that you're never foreseeing, you know, the challenges that you're not expecting, because that's life, right? That is life. There's always challenges that are coming from the clouds that we can't quite see. Always, always, always. But you're aware of what the main challenges are. You've got them handled. They're so difficult. They're so hard to handle that you just sat here playing a lute, or sit here playing, is it 2 flutes with one? I don't know what these are supposed to be, but this looks almost like a harp, a lute, a lyre, a Vulcan thing, whatever that is, a stringed instrument. And then, or this could be you playing this weird 2 fluted flute thing, like 2 recorders stuck in your gob at the same time. I don't know what they are. They're just musical instruments, right? So whatever it is, this is how it's going to go for a while, right? You're aware of the main hurdles, you're aware of the main obstacles, you've got them kind of dealt with, but there's going to be some that are going to be unforeseen. But that, again, that is fine. You just keep plowing forward. The main hurdles you've already got covered, right? Don't worry about that. I think overall, is tomorrow going to go well with you? I think long term it's going to go fine. You're going to have this emotional reaction tomorrow because it's going to be tough, and then it's going to take a while for you to settle back down, find your feet, find your settings. But all the challenges that are going to come your way initially, I think you're very, very aware of, and I think you've got those covered already, my darling. And with that, I'm going to say thank you very much, and that is the last reading for tonight. In fact, we are 20 minutes over. So sorry, mods. We are 20 minutes over. I'm always over these last few weeks. I need to get better at timekeeping. I'm so sorry, everyone. Blame the ADHD thing. That's what I always do. If in doubt, blame ADD, DDHD. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Oh no. There we go. I meant to do that, not that. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Yes, thank you for everyone who asked a question. There's loads of people that I didn't get to. Sorry to Redcap, Sherry Owl, Simran Kaur, PU. Sorry to those of you that came in after those questions as well and asked. We are back on Tuesday evening, my darling. Sherry, unfortunately, we didn't have time for you, my darling. I've gone through. How many have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's always 7. It's always 7. I always think I'm doing really well and we get to 7 and it all goes tits up. But we're out of time today, my darling. But if you come back on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. UK time, I will try and get to you. If not, there is a second option. Hang on. You can tell I'm not used to doing this. Where's the thing? I've changed the thing. Hang on. No. There we go. So that is another option on screen just there. If you want to, you can go across to fiverr.com, 2 R's in Fiverr, /Beyond Authentic. The I in Authentic just there is the number 1. You can go over there and you can book a 3, 6 or 10 card reading. And in fact, if you book a 6 card reading, just put in that you saw this offer on YouTube, and I will upgrade you to a 10 card reading for free at no extra cost. But yeah, thank you very much for that, and everybody else as well that I didn't get a chance to get to this evening in your questions, but thank you very, very much. Right, to everybody else that has joined us, thank you very much for coming in today. Thank you so much for those of you who asked questions. Thank you so much for those of you that just chose to hang out with us today. Don't forget, we'll be back on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. UK time. Hopefully by Tuesday I'll know whether I'm going to be adding in a 3rd evening stream, because I might do. Why not? See what's happening with my calendar. Don't worry, mods, you don't have to be here for a 3rd stream. But I'm going to try and see if I'm no longer required to do other things, then I may well open up a 3rd stream as well, because I love doing this. I really, really do. But thank you very much, everybody. And yes, that is going to be it for today. Can we please, I don't know how many likes we're on. I didn't even do a like spike today, did I? My God, you can tell I've just been in the zone. Not done a like spike, but thank you so much for everybody for liking and subscribing. If you haven't already, go and do those things now. And don't forget, you can always go and support us a little bit further over at buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. It's there if you want to go and become a channel member. And so, yes, thank you, everybody. Can we please, finally, I know there's 11 of you watching, can we please have a round of, we'll have purple hearts in the chat section, hearts, lots and lots, flood the heart, just put 4 in per person. Any more than that, and Nightbot starts acting up. But if you can put some hearts in, 4 hearts each, into the chat for the mods who have kept this channel running tonight while I've been doing the readings. Thank you so much. Thank you for Holland. Thank you to Ed. Thank you to Patricia, and thank you to Necro Neil for keeping things on track. So yes, thank you very, very much. Oh, like spike time. Holland wants a like spike. Okay, if you can, everybody now press the like button. If you haven't already, press the like button. That will be glorious. I will defend. I can't do hearts on mine, so I have to just do that. So lame. I'm so lame because I'm not even on the YouTube. I'm on a whole different doodah, which means I can't do the hearts. Can I even say, no, look, you've done hearts, lots of hearts. I have to go heart. So if you're watching this on the live, do the likes and also hit that lovely purple heart for the mods. By the way, everybody, if you're watching it on the replay crew, much love to you as well, and hopefully we'll see you on a live stream very soon. But that is it from me today. I'm going off to get something to eat, and hopefully we'll see you all very soon on that there Tuesday evening. I am going to be filming. Where's the box gone? There we go. Hang on. I am going to be filming this week a video. I've got permission to film a very, very wonderful person called Patricia, who is one of the mods on this channel. Patricia sent me a box. It's not a witch casket box. It's a tarot box. It is full of different decks and everything. I'm blown away. I'm determined not to cry, but I'm blown away by her generosity from Patricia's own collection. So much love to you, Patricia, my darling. Auntie Patricia, Auntie Pat, thank you very much for that. I'm going to be filming what was in that. So if you want to see what that's all about, stay tuned. Also, I've got my actual witch box to open up, witch casket to open up this month. And I've got to film a podcast with that there, Neil. So yeah, there's a lot to do this month. And hopefully, if the things go the way it looks like I'm going to have a bit more free time to be able to do that. So make sure you stick around. But have I tried the memory stick? Not yet, my darling. It's still in the envelope in the other room because it's been a week. It's been a week, as you know, because we chatted about it on the other one. But anyway, that's it for me, everyone. I've got to go because I am quite hungry and I can smell dinner. I don't know what Rufus is cooking, but it smells amazing. So I'm going to go now. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. Much love. Again, have a wonderful springtime. If you celebrated the spring equinox recently, I think that's what it was, the vernal equinox, yes, then blessings to you. If you are following Ramadan, then I hope you have opened your fast and had a wonderful meal. Ramadan Mubarak to all of my Muslim viewers and Muslim subscribers, and yeah, whatever you're doing in the world, have a wonderful week. We'll see you Tuesday. Take care, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon. We're going to have an awkward wave now. We've not done an awkward wave in a long time, have we? Awkward wave. Night, everybody. Awkward wave. Oh, hang on. It's a very awkward wave. There we go. Awkward wave. Awkward wave. Awkward wave. Bye. See you all on Tuesday.